Tom Cruise, you can name all of his movies, right?
No, The Firm. Now the book was
was great. Yeah.
The book was great. It was a great book. But the movie wasn't bad either. I may go home and watch that today.
It's no Mission Impossible Part 4, but yeah.
No, I've gone through. I think I've watched probably 15 Tom Cruise films. I'm not joking. I've watched 15 Tom Cruise.
Have you ever had him on The Herd?
No, I'm a huge fan. I think Tom Cruise is amazing. I think he's the last great movie star. There are very few people that will walk into a room and I'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait, what about Kevin Hart?
He's a funny comedian.
Yeah, okay, I thought he was great. By the way, I saw Kevin Costner over the weekend. Big-time movie star. You know
Where'd you see him?
At a high school basketball game. It was like a super playoff game, and Kevin Costner was hanging out with Jim Harbaugh, actually.
I have seen Kevin Costner in person in Park City, Utah, multiple
He's got like
times.
an aura.
You know, he's Kevin Costner. I'm trying to think. But if you're telling me, I mean, we live around this area, so I've been to restaurants before. I've sat next to Kim Kardashian twice at lunch.
Who?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I didn't care. Beautiful girl, just didn't care. I'm trying to think of all the stars in the world that would walk in and I'd be like, whoa, whoa. I think Cruise is number one.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, think about like athletic stars. I've sat next to Patrick Mahomes at a fight before, 5 seats away. Great guy. Yeah. He's Patrick Mahomes. He's like a kid.
He's a quarter. He throws a football.
I don't think there's anybody in Hollywood. I mean, Denzel has a certain aura, but I've said hi to Jamie Foxx. I've seen a lot of these people. Tom Cruise is different, dude. I'm sorry. He does his own stunts.
You are such a fan. It's funny.
Well, I just think there are a couple direct. Now, I'll be honest. Steven Spielberg walked into a room. I'd be like, whoa.
That's a legend right there.
Yeah, that's a game changer. By the way, he's got a UFO movie. They've moved to 2026. No, I'm not joking. I've never believed in UFOs. If Steven Spielberg believes in UFOs and that movie's coming out in 2026, I'm in.
Wow, that's how much. I haven't heard about it.
No. It's supposed to be the best. You know, first of all, one of the great filmmakers of all time. Steven Spielberg is doing his UFO movie in 2026. It will be the greatest UFO movie of all time. And I may finally go to the other side. That's how much relevance and resonance he has to me. So the Warriors, we talked about it a month ago. Year 22. LeBron, at his best, is going to give you amazing 4- and 5-minute flashes of brilliance. But he cannot be the initiator of the offense anymore. If Luka sits down, he can be. If Luka's playing and LeBron sits down, Austin Reeves also capable of being a playmaker. J.J. Redick finally said the quiet part out loud as the Lakers beat Denver, is that Luka had his highest usage rate as a Laker, and it was his best game. This is how the Lakers should play. Because remember, as great as Kyrie Irving was in Cleveland, he was relegated to a shooting guard with LeBron, and probably should have been. As great as D. Wade was in Miami, he was relegated to off-ball, and he's not a great pure shooter. LeBron has been such a force of nature and so great for so long that everybody wants him to play off ball, and AD's great, but AD can't be the playmaker. So LeBron's entire career, it's not that LeBron's selfish. I always use a statistic with LeBron James. He averaged like 28 a game his junior year in high school. He could have averaged 60 his senior year. You know what he averaged? 1 more point his senior year. LeBron wants to pass. He likes to be a playmaker. I've always felt he's more Magic Johnson than Michael Jordan. He wants others to score, but he likes to control the offense. Finally, he has a teammate. This is due to 2 things. Luka's a really good playmaker, and LeBron's now 40. So the combination of the two, a transformational young talent in Luka, and the fact that LeBron is older and is great in spurts, but in the Denver game, when LeBron didn't have to be the initiator of offense, his usage rate was only 29%. That's well below his average. Did you also notice since Luka arrived what's happened to LeBron's efficiency? It's gone through the roof. So he's fresh for those flurries late in the round, late in the quarter, late in the sequence, late in the half, late in the game. So this is finally, and now, it's working now. Somebody said this to me years ago, and it was really smart about LeBron. Whenever you play with LeBron, you are playing in LeBron's offense. You just have to figure out. Now, Kyrie got really frustrated with it. But I think LeBron, because of his age and because I think Luka's listen, Kyrie's an all-time talent, but I think he looks at Luka and goes, okay, finally. As much as I loved AD, he's not a playmaker. Luka is, Austin Reeves is, LeBron is, but this is what J.J. Redick said after this win in Denver, and this is the quiet part finally being said out loud.
Luka needs to be the guy that controls the offense. And Bron and AR, because we're going to stagger everybody, they're going to have their times to be on the ball. But all three of those guys are very intelligent basketball players, and we can create mismatches. We can get teams in the blender.
Nobody's ever said that. Like, that has been thought about privately. It's been whispered. It's been, it'd probably be the whole AD time. We kept waiting for the baton pass. That against Denver, that was the baton pass. That was a moment. That's what I said. I think the Lakers can play for the Western Conference Finals if they play like that. You got Rui in the corner. Austin Reeves is your third best playmaker. Luka is your primary initiator. And LeBron off ball unless Luka sits. For the record, LeBron sees it and said this after.
I'm a natural born wide receiver, and he's a natural born quarterback, so it fits perfectly. I've been running the floor and running lanes pretty much my whole life, and he's been throwing great passes pretty much his whole life. So it's not hard to get a rhythm when it comes to that. It's just all about eye contact and him being the great quarterback like he is, and me being the recipient of it.
This is not a small thing. This has been the discussion for years. This is what Kyrie complained about. D-Wade didn't complain about it. D-Wade and Spoelstra figured it out after about 2 practices. This is going to be LeBron's team. Kyrie pushed back, but LeBron was better at it. AD, I'm not a playmaker. This is what it can look like. This is what it can look like at its best. Luka's the playmaker. He initiates it. LeBron will have more efficiency and more energy late in the quarter, half game, and they blow out Denver. And Denver's a team, I don't know, in the last 15, is Denver 14-1? Denver always beats the Lakers. And this wasn't even close. So I don't want to get too crazy, but this is what it should look like. Coming up, Rachel Nichols, a lot of different things to talk about. The Cleveland Cavaliers, if they were based in New York, would be the NBA favorites to win the title, but they're based in Cleveland. That, the Celtics, the Knicks, the Lakers, and Luka next. Live in L.A., it's The Herd. Go get Jimmy Butler. They did. And despite his reputation as being an issue around the league, his impact with Miami and now the Warriors makes me think if he really ever was a problem. Jimmy Butler gets people worked up. He's like, he works hard at practice. He'll get after a coach. Well, the Warriors are now 5-1 since Jimmy Butler arrived. By the way, how are his old team, the Sixers, doing with Joel Embiid? They've lost 7th straight, and Embiid got benched yesterday. And remember, Embiid was the franchise. Jimmy Butler in Philadelphia was viewed as a problem. He was also viewed as a problem in Chicago, where he led them to the second round of the playoffs, and they've been unwatchable since. He goes to Minnesota, great numbers, playoffs. They blamed him there. He goes to Miami. They didn't blame him. Last 4 years, finals twice. Miami, a very strong organization, figured out, hey, Jimmy's not for everybody, but what Jimmy creates is intensity. And in the NBA, all these guys are talented. I mean, you don't make the NBA. Just think of how great you have to be in the NBA. But I would argue there's not that many winning players. LeBron's not just talented, he's a winning player. Steph Curry's a winning player. Draymond Green is a classic, not as talented as a lot of guys, but a winning player. Well, that's Jimmy Butler. Bulls, playoffs. T-Wolves, playoffs.